Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and I'm going to be doing my Pick'ems choices for the Challenges stage of IM Katowice 2019 in this video. Now, Valve has really switched up the format here with the viewer pass, which is something I do need to do a whole video on, but as far as I'm concerned right now, the most important thing about this new pass is that it's removed the whole point system that we used to have. So, in the past, every point from every pick counted. With this new system though, all we need to do is get 5 of our 9 picks right. It doesn't matter if we get all 9 or only 5 because we're still getting that point towards upgrading our coins. So there's no incentive here at all for me to take any risks. It doesn't matter if a couple of underdogs make it through because that won't stop me from getting the 5 picks that I need. So first of all, we need our 7 picks to get through, and it always makes sense to put your 7 most likely teams here because if you stick in a favourite for the 3-0 and they end up going 3-1 like Astralis did at London, you can lose out on your easy free pick that you could have had. So we're best off prioritising our 7 strongest teams here. Now, I decided to do a bit of outsourcing with my picks, and I thought I'd ask the public which teams they thought had no chance whatsoever. And being a bit of a stats guy, I decided to compile it into a chart so we can see which teams people voted for not making it out, the living failures, as I like to call it. And as you can see, there were 5 teams that really nobody seemed to doubt. So Vitality, NIP, NRG, Cloud9, and ENCE. It didn't seem like anybody thought these teams were likely to drop out. Now, as a matter of statistical probability, I suspect 1 or 2 of these teams might not make it through. But I do think they are good picks in general. So I'm going to put all 5 of these in. It doesn't matter if we drop 1 or 2, we just want to get most of them. And if we get 4 out of 5, well, we're most of the way there. Now, that still leaves me with 2 more picks to make, and I'm going to focus here on the various teams that have a score of 1 to 2 on my chart. So Fnatic, Furia, Avangar, Renegade, Spirit, and Tyloo, and I'm going to have to pick 2 of them. Now, one thing that's definitely on my mind here is that there's more best of 3s in this qualifier stage than in the past, and that favours more experienced teams. So Fnatic is definitely my first pick. They've got so much experience at majors on them, I think that'll really help. The remaining, 5 teams, though, are actually a bit trickier because we've got, Furia, who we haven't seen at many big international events. We've got Avangar and Spirit, who also don't do heaps of big international events. They've done more than Furia, but still not heaps. We've got Renegades, who do have lots of experience playing at big international lands, but always seem to choke and shit the bed at majors. And we've got Tyloo, who have recently brought in 2 new players that we haven't seen play before. So none of them really seem to outcompete the others when it comes to relevant experience. They've all got, some big drawback or cloud hanging over them. So I'm going to go with Renegades. I think if they can overcome that choking thing, I think they can make it through. It's not guaranteed, but that's where I'm going to hedge my bets. Now, you might be noticing that I've written off the CAS teams, and that may not seem like a smart move because 1 or 2 of them always seem to get through despite everyone's expectations, and I agree with this, but the problem is, I think all 4 of these CAS teams could potentially make it through, and because it's always a bit left of field, I feel like it's going to be hard to predict. So my attitude is that my best chance is to ignore these teams and stick with the 7 other strongest looking teams and hope that's enough to get me through. However, I am going to stick Avangar in as my 3-0 because they're a reasonably strong team, so they could feasibly do this, but this way I also don't risk missing out on a relatively safe pick like NRG or Cloud9 or NIP if I put them down as a 3-0 and then they lose somewhere along the way. So that brings me to the 0-3 pick. So back to our graph. I think it's clear that everyone's picks for these are either Greyhound or Vici, and I do have to agree that they are the 2 weakest teams at this tournament, but I will have to go with Vici here. It's a bad idea to fuck with Big Dick Stacy, you'll end up getting hurt. So those are my picks. Let me know what you think about them in the comments. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.